Hello and welcome everybody, this is ntiClimactic coming to you with another ntiClimactic cast. This one is the University of Bayreuth's esport team scrimming against the University of Magdeburg's esport team, and the match happened last Thursday. And now without further ado, hop right into our game. We see the University of Bayreuth will be Radiant, the University of Magdeburg will be Dire, and I will only be saying Radiant and Dire so as not to appear too biased. So let's just go through our players here real quick, as we see the first Sunstrike of the game thrown out to no avail. We have Panda Faggot UAT2 on the Disruptor, Morky on the Starkseer, Ayushi on the Anti-Mage, Now I Do Mid on the Juggernaut, and Jimmy the Beam on this Ogre Magi. And on the Dire side, we have Intox on the Omni Knight, Han on the Shadow Shaman, ARX7 on the Bristleback, come on, no CMG Mad Jester on the Invoker, and last but not least Winterschmied on the Slog. So let's see how our rune battle will start. We see the Radiant already have smoked up here, and will now maybe make a smoke movement into the Dire Woods to just see if they can get anything done before the runes even spawn. Let's see how that will turn out. So let's just check. We see Disruptor has already skilled up Glimpse, Starkseer has skilled up the Iron Shell, which he has now put onto Jimmy the Beam, the frontline Ogre Magi, pretty tanky with his 8 armor. So let's see if there will actually be any bloodshed. They do not go down the ramp, so they actually try and maybe backstab them. The smokes popped here, Jimmy the Beam moving in, but they spotted them, I think. Yeah, they did. Han holding him in place, but now I do mid with the Iron Shell, popping the Blade Fury, laying a lot of damage into this Shadow Shaman, who's now running away. ARX7 is not so lucky, caught in the fray, and now Winterschmied tries to run away, as does Han, but they glimpse him back, and he's into 4 heroes, and I don't think he'll make it. No, he won't. Jimmy the Beam picking up the last hit there, I think with the with just the last right click. So yes, we have 2 dead from the Dire before the horn even sounds. Now I do mid, getting the first bounty rune and the second bounty rune, just kind of sitting there in this river. We'll see what happens to that one. I usually immediately TPing down to this bottom lane to start up the farm drive. So if we look at our lanes, we see Morky on the Starkseer here, up against the Slog, who again just unfortunately died there the first time. And we see the Omni Knight and the Shadow Shaman making their way top lane. So it's gonna be a 3 against 1 lane, which is kind of normal. We see Jimmy the Beam here putting the harass on the Invoker, which is kind of helping, because now I do mid can just free farm on his high ground here and even get an eye. And on this bottom lane, of course, we have Ayushi with the Panda Faggot farming up against ARX7's Bristleback, who has started by skilling up Quill Spray, actually not going Bristleback here, but we'll do that, of course, I think, when he has his level 2. So let's see where stuff's happening. We see still in the mid lane that the Ogre Magi is hanging around, but now the Ogre Magi actually moving downwards here. Now I do mid on the enemy high ground, actually trying to farm up here, but it's 4 last hits, but 49 for the Jugger, so at least he's doing better in that department, depriving the Invoker of experience if nothing else. We see in this top lane, Winterschmied is trying to farm up against Morky and his Iron Shell creeps. Morky also has picked up the Surge, so can run away, has this Sage's Mask to really start the mana train going. And now we see Jimmy the Beam here. He has rotated to this bottom lane, so maybe he will catch the Bristleback, and indeed he does here. And there's also the Thunderstrike, so Bristleback in dire straits, but there's help TPing in, there's Han coming, but they glimpse back the Bristleback. Do they have the damage? Can they bring the damage? They stun up Ayushi, but Jimmy the Beam is not content to let the chase end, and he will pick up the last right click, but Han will then just harass him back with the right clicks. Can't save his friend, unfortunately, but neither will he manage to pick up the revenge kill on the Anti-Mage, or at least the Ogre Magi. So again, a 1-for-0 trade here for the Radiant. Pretty happy with that, but now ARX7 coming back in, maybe trying to pick up a kill here, but he's up against 3 heroes, and I don't think Bristleback can survive that. But we'll see what happens. For now, though, there's not much happening. Let's check out the mid lane. Now I do has picked up the Invis rune. May try to make something happen here on the Invoker, but for now he's just scouting if there's any support coming in. Doesn't find any, and then just picks up a last hit with his Invis rune. On this bottom lane, we see Hanan here with a Thunderstrike, trying to run back behind his tower, and in the Disruptor actually picking up the last hit here, but Bristleback gets the revenge kill with a Quill Spray here. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, and I think at this point, if you're behind 4-1 and around 1.5k net worth, you take any trade you can get if you're this Dire squad here. And we see Winterschmied is continuously getting harassed up. Only has 12 last hits to the 16 of both the Anti-Mage and the Juggernaut, and we'll see if he will catch up to them or will fall even farther behind, because of course the Iron Shell doing a lot of work here actually. But there won't be any blood spilled, neither will in this mid lane. Invoker now has a Forge Spirit out to try and harass Jug a bit better. How's this bottom lane looking? We see Disruptor here just checking out the rune. Will find himself a bounty. And there is Eric 7 actually moving into a Yushi, thinking about making a go for it. We'll see what's gonna happen. I think I just heard Jimmy the Beam bloodlust himself up. Yes, he did. Comes in from behind, as does the Disruptor. Blink forward here, and this Bristlebag may fall, but he's pretty quick. But they manage to glimpse him back. No kinetic field, sadly, but they do have... I think they have enough damage, and even though he's facing them from his back, I usually blinking forward there and getting the last hit here. So this Bristleback has died, I think, 3 times now. Yes, he has. So not the best start. Only 7 last hits. Morky also only having 7 last hits, but he has picked up a kill on this first blood thing, and he hasn't died. So I think on this battle, but Bristleback still out-leveling Morky though, so not doing too shabby here. But Morky now with the Soul Ring can of course continuously spam out these Iron Shells and really keep the slug down, which I think is the more important thing here. But now we see a pounce. And there's the purification, so Morky may just die. He's held in place by the Shadow Shaman, and yes, he can't do that. But while all this was going on, Noidumid has in fact killed the Invoker in this mid lane here with the help of his Ogre Magi. So this Invoker didn't have the best start. He has only 13 last hits compared to the 24 of Juggernaut, and now he even gave away a kill to the enemy mid laner. So the Radiant really having a good start, really in the driver's seat, it feels like. Invoker coming back now to this mid lane. Let's just check this bottom lane. Usually he's just farming up jungle creeps. Has picked up the Ring of Health, so it's moving towards this this Battle Fury, of course. I don't think Noidumid can do much here. Has picked up the Omni Slash though, and there aren't many creeps around, so he may actually make a go for it here. Will he? He actually does. He gets off the Omni Slash. There's a small stun, but it's not enough, and there's a Blade Fury, and that's the kill. That's 2 kills on the Invoker in the space of around, I think, a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Both going to the Juggernaut here. So he's having a really good start. Has picked up the Face Boots and a TP now. Let's check, and we actually see here ARX7 now with the kinetic field held in place even farther. There's a Thunder Strike, and there's the damage. And then Ogre Magi picks up the last hit with his club here. And even though there was help porting in, it actually just cancelled the TP because the Bristleback was dead. And we see here now Morky just going one-on-one against Winterschmied and really holding his own there with the Iron Shell backup, of course. So this Slug really can't farm much. He's really getting stuff for farm, only level 5. Compare that to the level 6.5 of Ayushi here. So you see the Anti-Mage doing really well for himself here. Has picked up Treads now. Disruptor has picked up a smoke. We'll see if he actually tries for any smoke movement. Disruptor getting the bounty rune, I think consistently giving bounty runes to this Disruptor so he doesn't have to steal last hits. Not the worst tactic. And now Morky and Winterschmied are just battling it out. Is this going to be a solo kill for the Darkseer? No, it won't. Slug just pouncing away here. Oh, he's really... Morky though popping the Surge Darkseer, diving the tower, but now he has to hide in the woods as Intox is moving in. But there's a Panther Faggot coming in from the south. Very good kinetic field, holding the Omni Knight in place. Also holding the Slug in place, kinda. And now I think this is Shadow Shaman also porting in. Yes, it's a Shadow Shaman. Disruptor just porting out Shadow Shaman, arriving a bit too late to cancel the TP here. Morky has picked up his level 6 now. Slug's still level 5. How's this Bristleback? Also level 6. He is... will always have these mana problems, of course, with the mana break from the Anti-Mage, and he doesn't really like that, because of course Bristleback likes to spam out these spells, and there we see Bristleback going man-to-man against the Anti-Mage, who just blinks out wisely before he gets himself killed there, even though Bristleback was facing in front, of course not making the most of that Bristleback passive here. On this mid lane we see a big teamfight. We see the Sunstrike hitting the Disruptor but not killing him, and now the teamfight is breaking out in earnest. No CMG Mad Jester is just trying to disengage. Now I do mid, following him. He has the Omni Slash, there's the Glimpse back with the kinetic field, kind of holding the Invoker in place, but he's running away, has a ton of Thunder Strike. There was the Omni Slash, and the first one is down. It's only the Invoker. He's running. The rest are running. The supports are hiding behind the tower. And the Radiant are happy. They're giving up the chase here. They don't need to do more. They got the Invoker for the 3rd time this game. And I think on 3 kills were on the Juggernaut. No, that last one was actually on Jimmy the Beam. Okay, so they got 3 kills on the Invoker. This is all that they wanted. And again, we see Winterschmied here. We see Morky just the Darkseer with no fear or respect, just farming, cutting, pulling the creep wave away with his Iron Shell, just getting as many last hits as he can. Outlast hitting the Slug now, but this may be his demise. Slug has popped the Shadow Dance, brings the damage, really hurting Morky here, but Morky has the Iron Shell, is rather tanky, and now surges up and actually runs towards the side shop to finish his Arcanes, so now he can really throw out this harass. And all while this is going on, the anti-mage has 59 last hits picked up, so he's, even though he has a Bristleback against him, he is kind of free farming compared to what the Slug's doing, who's only 30 last hits behind him. So anti-mage actually doubling the last hits of the enemy carry. So if you're going both from a late game as well as a farming perspective, Ayushi's getting the better end of the stick here, has picked up Perseverance now, so this Battle Fury is coming along quite nicely. How's the Mad Jester doing? Has picked up the Gloves of Haste, the boots, so we'll see if he moves into Tread, so maybe tries to go Midas with his gloves. We'll see. And now we have, again, we have 2 heroes on this top lane, 3 heroes with the Omni Knight. And where's the Darkseer rotated to? I think he's just, yeah, the Darkseer just gone back to base, but as a TP, so we'll be back on lane in a second. Slug, though, very happy about the breathing room there, but now Darkseer is just coming in. Can't catch a break if you're a Slug in this game. And immediately pops the Iron Shell on this melee creep here. And we see Jimmy the Beam and Disruptor actually hunting through the woods. They find the Mad Jester here, glimpse him back with the kinetic field. Can they kill this? I don't think they can. Okay. They have a lot of damage though with the Thunder Strike there. There's the Ice Wall holding Jimmy the Beam in place, making him slow. And then they're just going back, and now I do mid comes in, picks up a casual Shadow Shaman kill with the Omni Slash there, and then just disengages. There's nothing this Invoker can do. It's just saying, did you hurt my friends? Well, I can't really do anything about this, and so Radiant will disengage once again, get a kill, don't have to expand much, and Ayushi again just farming this lane here up against the Bristleback, who has 42 last hits, so even the Bristleback has more last hits than the Slug. Let's check our net worth. We see though even in net worth a Slug slightly above the Bristleback, because of course the Bristleback died a few times. And now Ayushi may try to pick up the kill, no blinks back. Doesn't want to take his chances, of course he's alone here. And we see now I do mid here, harassing this Invoker, trying to keep him down. Invoker very low, has less net worth than his Ogre Magi. Now has managed to out net worth him. But we see, I think a crucial difference also is that the supports from this Radiant team are both above net worth of this Dire. We see also Shadow Shaman on level 3, and of course he needs a crucial level 6 with the wards. And there we may have a fight on this top lane. There's 3 Dire heroes here present here. But there won't be much happening. I just try to pressure a bit and help their Slug get the farm that he wants. But of course that rotation means that Ayushi can just really free farm this lane, because Bristleback has decided to move to the jungle with the Vanguard here. And Juggernaut in the Dire jungle as well, so they're really contesting this top lane. Everyone's present here. Juggernaut may be finding the Mad Jester. He's running southwards, but I think they spotted him with this ward here actually. But they lost vision. But now Juggernaut coming down the ramp. Doesn't have the Omni Slash, still needs 20 seconds, so not expanding anything there. But we're having a team fight here on this top lane. We see Disruptor just died there, but there's still the Darkseer, there's the there's Jimmy the Beam, and now they're just trying to disengage and they're surging up. Jimmy the Beam bloodlusting himself there. Fight's kind of breaking up. Slug missing the pounce there. And now there's 3 heroes chasing after the Ogre Magi here, but they can't find him, and the Darkseer also got away and is now maybe meeting up with his Juggernaut, putting the Iron Shell on Juggernaut, who has Omni Slash off cooldown, so if he finds the Invoker here, the Invoker may very well die. Juggernaut deciding to just try and cut the wave here with his Iron Shell, and then moves back into the woods. So there's a lot of heroes present in this upper map area, and there's the Omni Slash closing the distance, just getting the casual kill. Pops the Blade Fury, trying to hunt down this Bristleback, gets some damage in, but not enough. Now they're Morky and now I do just kind of running back, chased by ARX7 mostly. Winterschmied just goes back to farming, tries to somehow alleviate this pressure here. But they're coming back around, and crucial, they don't have their anti-mage with them. Ayushi is, while all this is going on, Ayushi is just free farming this bottom lane because there's 4 Dire heroes on this top lane and the dead Invoker, of course, sitting in base. And now Winterschmied actually porting down to this bottom lane. He's very low on mana, which is kind of risky when you're facing up against an anti-mage. But anti-mage deciding not to bother. While this is going on, we see the top lane tower has just fallen, picked up by the disruptor there. Now there's still 4 Radiant heroes here pushing into these 3 rather Dire heroes. Eric 7 they're trying his darnest to defend his tower with the back of his Shadow Shaman. And there we see them coming in from the south again. Good Static Storm, Kinetic Field Combo of the Omni Knight. There's a Hex on Now I Do Mid, but it doesn't really do anything. Jimmy the Bream will pick up the last hit, and now I Do Mid. The Juggernaut popping the Blade Fury, gets some damage, and doesn't get enough damage. There's a very good vacuum holding the defenders back, allowing the Juggernaut to pop his healing ward. And there's Jimmy the Beam actually killing the Shadow Shaman, but getting picked up with a Sunstrike there by the Invoker. So Invoker getting a very crucial double kill here. Now Eric 7 trying to chase down Morky on the Starkseer and gets him with this very good last quill spray there. But again, so they get a 3 for... Can I get the final kill? So they get a 3 for 2 trade here, which is not too shabby. Double kill on the Invoker as well, who now has picked up his Midas. But again, while this was going on, the anti-mage wasn't present. He didn't care about this fight. He was just free farming. Will now fight up against a Slug. May die here actually, and yes, he does. Going down here. Courier has died though. I'm not sure where the Courier fell. Maybe during that fight top lane, I think. So now we have seen the anti-mage just dying here to the Slug. Crucial kill for the Slug there. To get himself back on the board, because he is, of course, is 2k net worth behind both the anti-mage and the Juggernaut, and the Invoker even behind his own Bristleback. So this Bristleback really doing his best to carry this game, but now with the Midas, if he gets it delivered, of course, because his Courier is dead, if the Invoker gets his Midas, can of course try and get back into this game, into net worth that he needs. And now with the anti-mage down, the Dire actually just making a quick excursion into the Radiant Woods here, giving the Slugs a jungle farm, picking up this is actually a stack. So picking up these stacks here, maybe pick up this stack. No, he doesn't. He just walks north towards the Roche Pit. And now anti-mage is back bottom and just back to farming. He has his Battle Fury, he has the Headdress. So he's moving towards that Vladimir's Offering, I think. And that's the scan with these 3 heroes on the top lane, trying to find out if there's anything present. They don't find anything, but there's the Mad Jester with his Invoker porting in, immediately spawning the Forge Spirits, trying to hold back this tide of 3 heroes coming towards him. Juggernaut now getting his Manta style, and we see here Morky with the Vac pulling Hanan towards him, and he may pick up the kill. Yes, the Shadow Shaman is down here, and now Idomit moves in, pops the Blade Fury, harasses back the Invoker, tries to get the kill maybe, and that's a very good glimpse back into a Static Storm Kinetic Field, allowing Now I Do to get the kill with the Omni Slash, and he will pick up the second kill on Eric 7 here, who's doing his best, even facing him backwards, but not enough here. Will die. There's a kinetic field, but it's not managing to hold the Slug in place, who now dominating streak with a very good pounce picks up the kill on Disruptor. But again, this is just a Disruptor, it's a position 5, but the Dire, I think, are happy for every trade that they take, even if it's 2 for 1 to course against the Disruptor. Slug, I mean, Slug is doing okay, he has picked up his Shadow Blade now, Dice Courier is back, so now Invoker hopefully be able to get his Midas. Ayushi though is just freely farming here as the Courier, I think, delivered to him what may very well be his Vlads. Yes, it is. So this Radiant squad's coming along rather nicely, has a about 15k net worth lead, 70 minutes in, and has about 8k experience. And again, I think it's crucial. I mean, this Shadow Shaman still hasn't picked up his level 6, so he kind of needs these wards to deep push or to ward trap someone, preferably, of course, that Juggernaut, or do anything really. And Ayushi's just farming away here, Dino congregating around this Roche Pit area, just trying to stop the push here with the illusions. And now there's Ayushi again bringing the damage into this Bristleback, who has popped the Crimson Guard though. And now anti-mage will just blink back, and Juggernaut also deciding that it's not worth risking the life of himself when his anti-mage is just, you know, kind of running away there. But anti-mage immediately back to farming, Slug and Ogremajai just picked up the Invoker. I'm sorry for missing that. But there's Vintage Meat, and he will get, I think he will get Panda Faggot, will he? Yes, he will. Panda Faggot is down there, so it's a mega kill streak for the Slug. Mostly kills on the Disruptor, I think. And I think that one on the Anti-Mage. So, Slug putting himself on the board there, doing his darndest, and now Hanhan has also picked up his level 6. So now they have these Serpent Wards, and we'll see what they're gonna do with them. Ayushi, though, trying to pick up the solo kill there on the Omni Knight. Dice really blinks forward, misses the blink kinda, and now is really in a not that good position, trying to run away. There comes ARX7 from the west, but there's backup. There's the mech from the Darkseer. A Sunstrike missing the snipe here, and now there's Vintage Meat catching the Juggernaut with the pounce, but Juggernaut just using the Omni Slash. There's the wall. One is already dead, Bristleback is dead. Vintage Meat trying to run away, Hanan trying to run away. But Anti-Mage just blinking forward, bringing the damage here, laying into the Shadow Shaman, Juggernaut popping the Blade Fury. There's a triple kill for the Darkseer, mostly with the Iron Shells, and no CMG. The Mad Jester will also die to this Juggernaut, who I think just popped the Omni Slash there, or just brought damage otherwise. So now the Radiant will just pick up this tower. It's a 4-for-0 trade, and the only one who survives is the Omni Knight, who kind of started this whole ordeal by making Ayushi kind of overdive. Very good reaction there by the Radiant, bringing the team in and making the best of a not that good situation, and now they can just Roche in peace. Juggernaut just picking up his Diffusal Blade on top of this Manta, which he already has. Anti-Mage, as I said, has this Flavor's Offering. Jimmy the Beam has his Yule Scepter. Check items for him. I mean, you see Omni Knight has Soul Ring. The Shadow Shaman doesn't really have any items to speak of. Bristleback has the Crimson Guard, as we saw. Invoker has his Midas and is now moving towards what I assume will also be a Yules. And while all this is going on, we see Hanhan and Intox kind of spotting out that there's Roche going on. And now the Dire smoke up as 4 and will move towards this Roche pit, so we will see a Roche fight here. Now I do popping here, popping the Blade Fury. There's a very good vacuum cliffing the ARX7. There's a very good Static Storm catching 3, I think. Disruptor will die. There's the Sabanrats dropped now, but the fight's kind of moving away from them. Hanhan will die here. Winterschmied catching Morky there, getting a kill on the Darkseer, but Jimmy the Beam stunning him up. And now Edumid just moves in with the Blade Fury. Will die. Aegis is lost here, but Ayushi is still alive and kicking. Has this Iron Shell and tries to get the kill on Winterschmied, who pops the Shadow Dancer, just runs away. But Ayushi blinking forward, not letting him get away. Gets the kill there, gets a double kill by also picking up this Omni Knight. And now I think ARX7 manning up here, facing in front. And now with the help of the Blade Fury, Anti-Mage here picking up a triple kill. So it's a 4-for-2 trade on top of Roche and the Aegis. So it's a 4-for-3 trade if you count the Aegis, which is gone. But the Radiant again going out on top, and the Radiant are really in the driver's seat of this game. They have map control. They can really control where the Dire can move. The Dire just have to try and farm up their jungle because they can't really do anything else. Radiant haven't lost a single tower, as we see the penultimate tier 2 tower here fall. And there's nothing that these heroes can really do against it. And now Ayushi just blinks up to the high ground. He doesn't care that he doesn't have an Aegis. He will just bring the damage. He will just try and melt this tower with the help of his Juggernaut Illusions, who have now timed out. But 7 seconds they will be back up again. I think the tower won't even survive that long. No, it won't. And the Invoker, and there's we see Winterschmied here coming in, tries to pick up the Courier, won't get the Courier, but gets a very good catch on Morky. But while this was going on, now Edumid just killing Hannah in here. There's the Meatball drop on top of a Sunstrike. But we see the Omni. Have you seen the Omni Slash? Yeah, we've seen the Omni Slash pop, which didn't really net a kill, but now there's a good glimpse back with the Mana Void. They kill the Slug. Now Edumid just trying to run away here. And the Radiant aren't done yet. They haven't lost anyone. And they will just bring damage. Now the Omni Knight also falling here to the damage of the Darkseer, and they have picked up a lane of Rags without really having to expend much. I mean, they expanded the Omni Slash and the Mana Void, and the wall was dropped, but they got what they wanted. They got the kills. Now they will just continue to push, because they can of course just take down the spot tower, and they start on the Rags. And the Dire not really knowing how to react. They're just kind of hanging back, maybe waiting for them to get closer to tier 4s. ARX7 thinks about going in, then immediately thinks that it's better to go back out again. There's a kinetic field catching the Bristleback. There's a very good vacuum holding them in place. Now Edumid popping the Blade Fury, tries to pick up the kill on this Shadow Shaman. Will do it. Meatball not really doing anything. There's the damage on the Mad Jester. The Invoker's also dead. Purification on the Bristleback. but will it be enough? I don't think it will. Ayushi just lays into him, and there's also the damage from the Thunder Strike, which I think will pick up. No, Ayushi blinks forward, doesn't get the Disruptor, get the kill. Now I do mid, will just pick up the Omni Knight on the backlines here. Now it's only Winterschmied, who is inside the Shadow Dance, but now I do is onto him, and there's a Kinetic Field, and so it's a team wipe for the Dire squad. GG's called. Yeah, I think this is it. There's not much that the Dire can do to come back. They're almost 30k behind. Their net worth was a good game. They fought valiantly, but I think from an analytic standpoint, you see, of course, the Slug never really got online. He was harassed way too much by mostly, of course, the Darkseer, who was laning up against him, and this anti-mage, who just free farmed down on this bottom lane, never really any contention on him. So of course, and if you have an anti-mage who free farms and a Slug who is even the slightest bit contested, he will just start to pull ahead and then never really stop. And of course, the fact that Invoker died 3 times in that mid lane wasn't too shabby either, giving the Juggernaut a very good head start, which he never really lost. So the Radiant taking control of this game very early. I mean, we saw the first fight with that smoke gank in the woods, picking up 2 kills there. So the Radiant from the word go, picking up this game by the throat, never really letting go. And with those poetic words, I will just say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game and my cast. And we, of course, will do more like these in the future. We will cast more games of our team, the logo of which you can see in this corner here somewhere. And we will, of course, cast, or rather, I will, of course, cast random pubs that I decide to just watch, replays from people I know. And if you want to have your replay featured on our channel, just drop us a message on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitter. The links are in this description, as well as my own personal Twitter, on which you can also tweet to me if you want to tell me. And if you just want to give me feedback or anything, just drop us a message. It will get sent to me, and I'm always appreciating feedback, both good and bad, of course. So I think that is all the plugs I needed to do, all the things I wanted to say. And with that, this has been an ntiClimactic replay cast. My name's ntiClimactic, and I hope I will see you again sometime. Goodbye.